All right, everybody. This is Parker and Dad, episode 23 of this very great podcast, the best podcast around on YouTube, behind Joe Rogan. I mean, we're right there. I mean, Joe Rogan left YouTube for Spotify, so I think we're pretty much the best.
Yeah. And then there's that other guy we heard the other day, and then that lady.
No.
And then
Don't
there
get
was
caught
those
up.
two other. But other than them, yeah.
Don't get caught up in all the ones you
I
actually
think
listen to.
Right. Yeah.
We are the best podcast on YouTube with 30 subscribers. Boom.
Yes.
Set it, implement it, plant it. We have
thank
30
all 30
subscribers.
of you, all 30 of you. We appreciate you.
There
Thank
is
you.
an apartment complex in Baytown, Texas that only has 31 subscribers on their YouTube channel. So we're right there with the apartment complexes in Baytown, Texas. So we're pretty much mainstream.
Yeah.
I think we're jetted up to the top. You know what pisses me off more than anything, though, is a new law. It's not. I don't even think it's a new law, but it's a law I came across in the UK, and I wanted your reaction to it because I know we spend a lot of time crapping on Democrats and stuff in America, and I'm tired of it. I mean, we're not that tired of it. I'm going to do it in about 30 seconds after we react to this, but I do want to take a break from crapping on America and Democrats in America and crap on other, I think that other countries that are struggling with stupid laws, maybe overreaching government, things like that. And this will actually make you proud to be an American because in the UK, police now deem staring at a woman's breast a hate crime. Yes, it is a real hate crime.
Are they ugly or are they? I mean,
I don't know, but apparently staring at a woman's breast is a hate crime. They said we've started recording misogyny as a separate category of hate crime. It's where either a crime or an incident occurs and the victim feels that it's occurred because of their gender, i.e., the fact that they're a woman. Staring at a breast isn't a crime per se, but it's an offense. Let me tell you, it's offensive. And it's one that we can, in the right circumstances, deal with the offender, report them for summons, and take them to court. So yes, it's a real thing happening in the UK. Sounds like a great place to live. What's your instant reaction? It's not a hate crime. So Hooters is out.
Well, I'm confused. So why is one of the largest non-necessary, whatever you call that, medically necessary and then elective. So the largest elective surgeries probably in the United States are breast augmentation.
Yeah, well, we're not.
And we're augmenting the breast that we now are not supposed to look at.
Well, in the UK, not us.
Well, I'm sure that the statistics over there are the same. And I want a hate crime for when I'm having to walk up a flight of stairs.
Yes.
And I'm out of breath. Well, and people are staring at me saying, what's that fat guy? Why can't he get? I'm offended. I'm hurt. I'm wounded. And so where's the hate there? Where's the crime? I mean, I don't know. I want some equality there.
Yeah, and I don't understand. I mean, I feel like if you're a fat guy struggling to get upstairs, should there even be stairs?
I mean, I know there's hatred out there because when I get on an airplane, I haven't flown in a while. When you get on the airplane, you walk on there and you see everybody's face go, "Oh, dear God, please don't let him sit next to me."
Yeah, it's when you're walking around anywhere. I mean, they give us very mean looks for being heavy. And I'm a fat activist. I am. I mean, I'm tired of doing away from stairs. I think fat people, if you weigh a certain amount, you should automatically get first class flight tickets. I think you should automatically be first class. You should get your own lounger. You want the fat guy to be comfortable.
Well, there's no stadium in the United States. I mean, we go.
Oh, in baseball stadiums are the worst.
They don't make the seats.
The worst.
No.
Minute Maid Park.
It's not us. I mean, you look at America. I looked around. We went to the ball game
We're all
earlier this
fat.
season. I looked around the stadium, and I would say that the majority of people were in the seats going, "Oh dear God, I can't breathe." You certainly can't sit next to somebody.
No, you have to spread out.
You end up buying extra tickets so that you have a seat, so you can at least not have to lean into the person that you're with.
Or you just spill nachos on the next person sitting next to you, and they eventually leave.
Thank you, COVID, because now we have extra seating.
Yeah, we did have a little room spread out. I like that.
So we social distance. So I've appreciated the social distance.
I just think if you're fat, you need to have elite level seating. You need to have preferential seating, because it's just not going to be a comfortable time. And America is getting fatter and fatter. I think that we need to have it like in the theaters. Used to be theaters were hard to sit in for fat folks. Now the theaters have all went to those loungers that recline. If baseball was like that, I mean, hey, I'm just saying they would sell out,
but
it would be easier. It would be easier to go to games. That's for sure.
So the UK has a crime
against looking at women's breasts. It's an offense. It's an offense. And I think they called it misandry or whatever word they used. Apparently, you can look at a woman too long and you're going to jail. I mean, that's just it. That's it.
Used to be you just got slapped.
Yeah, which is a fair treatment. And I'm fine with taking a few slaps. But I don't know, man. It's harder and harder to be a single guy out there. At least you've gotten wrapped up. I mean, listen, I thought women like that kind of stuff, but I guess not.
I've been married 30 years. I promise you, Robin, just my wife. I will let you know. I don't know that other women have breasts. Never seen it. Never noticed it.
Well done, sir. Well, listen, I'll tell you one guy who knows other women have breasts, and that is President Joe Biden. I saw Jill the other day in Houston. She was at the Astros game. She was doing all kinds of stuff. Not really a place I would expect to see her at an Astros game. I mean, I guess she was doing something with masks and vaccines, and she was just pumping up, people in Texas. But I guarantee she got out of Texas as soon as she could. And I don't want to get too much into the sports of it, but there's a reason the Astros lost that series to the Baltimore Orioles is because Jill Biden was there. And Biden being in Texas, going to an Astros game, to me, doesn't seem like her cup of tea, his cup of tea. I'm not sure if the Houston fans really enjoyed having Biden at the game. People say, oh, well, Houston's a liberal city. Trust me, the people going to Astros games aren't Democrats, aren't people who voted for Mr. Biden. So, yeah, that's my whole thing is you wonder why you lost to the Orioles. Well, you're inviting the Bidens to come to Minute Maid Park. Maybe you should rethink your strategy a little bit.
All right. Bad choices.
Bad choices.
We won't go down that road of bad choices.
Well, I mean, we might I'm just saying, I don't act surprised when things happen and there's a reason for them. I mean, you get swept by the Orioles. What's the one thing that happened that series that may be different than other things? Oh, yeah. Biden was there. Maybe that's why. Anyway, I'm just a scientist.
Bats went dead.
I connect the dots. Okay.
Well, yeah,
Anyway, Trump has a new, I say Trump, it's actually Jason Miller, who was part of the Trump campaign, a big communications guy. He started a new social media platform called Getter. I thought it was pretty clever that it was called Getter.
It means get together, not get her. So don't.
I was gonna make a Trump joke.
Get her.
I was gonna make a Trump joke. I was trying to be fair and balanced.
I'm sorry.
I was trying to be fair and balanced. I was gonna make a Trump joke, but anyway, yeah, it's called Getter. Great name, great platform. It's really about liberty. It's really about freedom. I mean, you type in anything you want, it pops up. It's not censored yet. There's a lot of bots. It's kind of crazy. I've got about 4 or 5 followers on there. Big surprise to see Joe Rogan on there. It's been fun seeing him. Yeah. Of course, Trump's got he's finally got a good solid count on there. Yeah, there's a few guys I like to follow on there. Terrence Williams, like I said, it's one of those things where it's really fun. Dad has an account on there. I have an account on there. It's the same as Twitter at ParkerRay1, ParkerRHEA, the number 1. I've deleted Twitter. I'm off of that. You can still find me on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook is just Parker Ray. Instagram is PRay63. You can still find me on there. But as far as Twitter goes, I'm all a Getter guy. And I think I encourage more and more people to get on there. Dad's username is JRay1965. JRHEA 1965. You can follow him on there as well. He's finally got social media.
I'm checking my account right now.
He's checking. You guys better be following as we speak. But anyway, so a new platform, interesting enough. I know they tried Parler. It shut down pretty quick. It didn't really work out too well. Getter seems to have the right idea. Of course, they're going to have to update it a lot and figure some things out. But so far, what have you liked? What have you not liked about Getter and being back on social media? Father, you haven't been on social media in a long, long time. So what are some things you like about being back?
Well, I just want to show my support for freedom of speech and against big tech and all of the censoring and just the invasion to our First Amendment right to say something. I think the way that they interfered in this last campaign and then after the campaign, it just was against everything that we believe in as a country. And we should be ashamed of it. So my support was for a platform that I hope to be free of that. And I just wanted to come out and support. I got off social media long before Trump and long before all of, well, not before Trump, but before all of the issues of censoring and all of that started. I got
it was right around the time Trump got in office
for other reasons, and never have regretted it, and was thankful that I was. And do not support the Facebook, Twitter, all of that world of liberal elite big tech.
Here's I think it's well said. I think it's fun to see people on there reaching out. Joe Rogan has had a really fun time on there, and I think other people are starting. We really won't know if it's free speech. We really won't know it's free speech until Alex Jones gets an account. If Alex Jones gets an account,
Alex Jones.
If Alex Jones gets an account on Getter, then we know, hey, this is for real. This is the real deal. We really care about freedom of speech, whether how crazy you are. I believe you let the crazy people talk, then it kind of puts things in perspective. And then you can kind of say, okay, well, that person's crazy. We know they're crazy. We can prove they're crazy. I don't think it's up. I don't like the fact that there's social media platforms deciding what you can listen to or what you can hear. I got tired of Twitter. And I know Facebook does this, and Facebook's going to be very hard for me to ever get rid of. I'm addicted to Facebook. That's my problem. Twitter, I wasn't really ever addicted to it. I got it in college because everyone said, oh, you're sports. You got to get it. You got to get it. The sports news I was getting was actually kind of biased and a liberal biased. Even the sports news was. Those were the things getting retweeted. If someone agreed with me, I would scroll down to the comments and they would be calling that guy racist or a white supremacist or something like that. And I've been called white supremacist or racist more on Twitter than any other app by far. I've been called racist, homophobic, any kind of thing you could think of. I've been called on Twitter more than any other app because it's an echo chamber. And the liberal ideas and those type of kids that are on there are the kids kind of my age and maybe a little bit older, maybe a little bit younger. But this generation of kids on there, those are the views that get magnified. It's not the liberal view. It's not the liberal viewpoints that get magnified on. It's not the conservative viewpoints that get their fair shake on there. It's the liberal viewpoints that get echoed and they retweet it, and they just blow up and they start trending and it gets out of proportion. I mean, so many crazy things start trending on there. And I found out, I started losing followers when Trump first got elected, and there was a few things that happened, and I was like, okay, fine. I probably wasn't really their friend anyway. It was a lot of my Texas state friends, and I know they're not watching this because they don't follow me on anything anymore. They've blocked me, whatever. So I'm fine with saying it. But people you thought, hey, maybe they were fine with me. And then the weird thing is I also had people that would try to friend request me again because they saw that I, got the teaching job in Kerrville. They saw my life started to get a little bit better. I bought my new truck. They started seeing things, I guess, and they started hearing rumors about me, I guess, getting a job and everything. And they started trying to friend me again. And then I've had people message me and say, hey, man, I really like that you're a teacher. I don't always agree with you or whatever. And I'm like, why would you message me out of the blue saying, I thought we were always cool. I don't know why you would message someone at random times and say, I don't always agree with you, but you're not really a bad guy. I'm like, I'm not a bad guy. you hung out with me in college. You know I'm not a bad guy. But on social media, 2 or 3 years removed from college, apparently I've turned from this now that they don't see me, they just see me on Twitter and Facebook. Apparently I'm this big racist monster now. And so it was very surprising for me to be a teacher. It blew their mind that I was in teaching because of my political views and what they saw of me on Facebook and Twitter. So I had enough with it. I finished with Twitter. I lost some more followers with this Olympic thing. We're going to get into that in a little bit because I don't think Reed will want to talk about it much tomorrow. Hopefully we can do the 1203. Get into that Olympic thing, that racer, that African-American woman who was obviously, she did not get to participate in the Olympics. She is banned from the Olympics because she failed a marijuana drug test. I posted rules are rules. Well, I lost about 10 followers. I was up above 400. I was at about 410. I went down to 395, 390. And I'm like, you start checking the list of people who you don't follow you anymore. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I pissed them off. They can't handle me saying one bad thing, but
apparently
I'm done with it.
Olympic.
Yeah.
I'll talk about
that. So we're going to get into that a little bit, but my whole thing on that is the reason why this thing came around at the best time. July 4th is kind of when it started. And apparently, first two things I want to talk about. Obviously, I want to talk about the Olympic thing. I want to talk about both Olympic things. There's two things that happened in the Olympics that I want to get your opinion on, Dad. But before we get in on that, I just want to say that does it surprise you that Twitter people that don't see you in real life, or they may have known you in real life, and all of a sudden they only see you on social media? Does it surprise you that their views change of you when all they see is what you post on social media and they don't ever meet with you or talk with you in real life? Does it surprise you that they get all butthurt about stuff, or is that just something you're used to?
I think how I feel about this, because I think the whole social media and aspect of everyone communicating now, their method of communication is tweeting, texting. This whole environment that we've gotten in the last 10, 15 plus years has done so much to the fabric of America. We don't have conversations. We don't have personal interaction. We don't have that. I think the anonymity of the virtual world has such that I won't go into, but was in politics, ran for office, got elected, spent one term, and then was running for re-election. And the things that people feel comfortable saying, from the anonymity of being able to post something or put something out on social networks, is unbelievable. The freedom that they have, that they think that they can destroy or say just completely absurd, false things, and then just to watch it in people's everyday life of now spending a year in the classroom and kids, and how they're just addicted or
seeing how they get their information
to this. And people need to be humanized, and you need to know that there is a person behind that, so you can say something to a person very easily when you just say a hateful thing across Facebook, or make a post or a meme or whatever, but you're not humanizing that person. And so I think it's a lot deeper. So my whole thing comes from, I think, the psychological and the damage that's been done in people's ability to interact and to have relationships and to all of that. It's just really hurt America. We need to get back to having conversations of meeting people, of knowing who they are, what they are, instead of just thinking that it's just, oh no, it's just, I'm just put that out there and I can go on my phone and it's funny. Ha ha ha. It's hurtful. And so no, I'm not surprised by people making opinions over something they think, or when emails first came out. I'm that old. I remember in business and in work, and we had to give lessons or conversations to people about, be careful how you write your tone of your email, because it can be read in a way, you're brief, you're trying to just get a point across, but the receiver might read that and think that because the tone or the manner in which it came across was taken in the wrong way, and someone got offended or thought that you were angry about something. So the written word and the spoken word are night and day different. And so the manner in which and the words you choose to be brief in a text or an email or a tweet don't have the same meaning as someone that can see your face, your gestures, your tone of voice. So again, we've lost the ability to communicate and to express ourselves because we're doing it in this medium that is just so yeah, people make judgments and they shouldn't, and you need to know who the person is that you're talking about. And so for someone that knows you, has spent any time with you and knows the type of person you are, and they can see one tweet or retweet or whatever and decide that you're this type of person, but they're making that about groups of people. We're stereotyping and bunching people into groups, and if you're this, if you're that, then you're a racist and you're hateful. And so I'm not surprised by anything.
And I think you hit the nail on the head with society. I think I'm an old soul. I've said it before on this podcast. I've said it to a lot of people recently. It's become more and more evident as I try to get back into the dating world. Listen, I feel like it's easier. It's a whole lot easier to just say, hey, what's your phone number? Let's not text. Let's call each other. Let's talk on the phone. But it's so crazy the things people will text you and say over the internet. And then you talk to them on the phone and it's completely a whole different story, and you're not connecting and things aren't going good. Listen, eventually, guys and girls,
you're going to have to
talk to somebody, and you're going to have to meet with somebody. And you get to that point, and I've seen a lot of scenarios, not just with myself, but other friends that are out in the dating world that are single. You get up to that point where you're trying to meet the girl, and either the guy or the girl, they just don't get the nerves. They just can't meet with somebody. They get too nervous, or they just don't know what to say, and the conversations kind of end, and they spend the whole time texting on each other's phones. I can't tell you how many times I've been out just seeing a guy and a girl, younger guys and girls on dates, and they spend most of the time on their cell phone. Put the phone down, talk to the person in front of you. Let's see if you guys can connect, joke around a little bit, be real humans. Today, me, my uncle, and dad here went out to look at apartments in Baytown, and we spent time being real humans, of course. We went to a nice restaurant in Baytown, and we talked to this nice waiter. It was an African-American man. There was an African-American cook in the back, and it was a very soul food themed type place. And we just got back from there, and just talking to that guy joked with us. He sat around. There was something on the TV. They had New Orleans music playing, the ambiance. I mean, we were pretty much the only ones there, right, Dad? I mean, it was just me. It was just us three. He came out and talked with us. He visited with us. He joked around. He was like, oh yeah, I got, he was just making jokes, cutting up. We were watching a Bruce Willis movie on the TV, and New Orleans music was just blaring. It was that, bum, bum, that Cajun music. It was a good time sitting there talking to other humans. Didn't really matter. I mean, he was, like I said, he was an African-American man. I didn't really care about his politics. I didn't care about any of that. I just saw him as a man, and we were talking. We were hanging out as men. And there was a cook back there. He was cool. It was just a good feeling to get out. And even the people we saw at the apartments, just interacting with people was awesome. And it's an experience you can't get. I mean, a lot of times people want to order food and have it delivered to them. Sometimes just going out and seeing people, and it doesn't even matter. Like, you're not reduced to a tweet. You're not reduced to a Facebook post. You're not reduced. That's not who you are. But there are defining moments in life that do define who you are. And listen, there's two athletes I want to talk about today in the Olympics. They're representing our country. Our one one had the opportunity to, and I'm sure she'll get it again. She's a very talented sprinter, Sha'Carri Richardson, and then of course I think the hammer throw lady, young lady, was Gwen Berry. I think that was her name, Gwen Berry or Gwen Perry. Of course, she was the hammer throw athlete that turned her back to the national anthem. Sha'Carri Richardson was the sprinter who broke all kinds of world records, did very well, would have probably won gold. I know she would have won gold if she competed in the Olympics. Tested positive for marijuana. It was a very sad situation for her. My gripe's not really with her as much as because she took ownership to it. She knew the rules. She knew the stakes. It's how society kind of reacted. So first, let's dive into Sha'Carri Richardson because I think we're going to spend more time on Barry because I think what she did, I think we can both agree was kind of foolish. But going into the Richardson, sprinter, tested positive for marijuana, was not able to compete. A lot of people wanted her to compete. They instantly accused America of being racist for not letting her compete. What are your thoughts on all of that? Is America racist for not letting an athlete compete in the Olympics because she's black and she did marijuana? Is that how you see it? You see America as a racist country for not letting this young woman compete?
And I know whatever I say, for those that are going to be upset are going to be upset. But the rules are the rules. And I would hope, and I know that others will say, oh no, exceptions would be made if she was white or if this or that. And I can't address that because I don't know the facts about that. What I do know is the rules are if you get tested and if you have this, it's the same way for athletes and everywhere else. If there's performance enhancing, if there's this, if there's that, there's drug testing. And if there's a positive test, there's this procedure. The organizations that run this program to select the athletes, these preliminaries, the prelims, or whatever they're calling the things, trials, Olympic trials to get into the Olympics. I have no doubt the woman has worked hard. I feel bad because I know that she has worked hard. I know that the time that these athletes put into training, it's a lifetime of training, and they have done a lot of things. She made a mistake. It was a mistake. I'm sure she didn't intend to get in trouble or get caught. And you can have your opinions about marijuana, legalized, whatever, but the rules are they tested her, she was positive, and she's not going. I have no problem with that because that is clearly what it was. She knew what she was doing, and that's that. So I don't, people that want to put racism into everything, I am so tired of. It's just ridiculous to even bring it in. It's not. There are clear rules. It wasn't done because of who she was. It was done because of the test. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I think rules are rules. And the people not realize in the United States is one country. You have the Olympics. Each country can't have their own rules. And the Olympics has the final say. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the Olympics that decides if you can do this or not. And it doesn't matter if it's legal in the United States or legal even in the state she was doing it. I mean, we're not dragging her to jail. We're just telling her she can't compete in the Olympics.
And what are you going to say to that person that now is going, or
that they
or
followed
the spot that she would take if you let her go or said no, and that person followed all the rules, did all the things the right way?
I've been there,
and they're not getting to go. So you have to. We bring him in. Michael Andrews, a swimmer. We know him
personally.
Has a relationship with someone or had in our family. We met them at church. He's a great young man. I know the time I've spoken with him and the amount of training that
the effort that goes into
training.
It's all
he's put into, and I am so proud for him that he's had the opportunity. But what if you said, "Oh no, Michael, you can't go because we have to put this other person who didn't follow the rules or didn't do whatever, and now he's not going"? I know how that would be hard to take. So all of these athletes have trained hard. All of them deserve. Somewhere there's got to be a cut, and somewhere there's got to be rules. And those rules weren't made up last week. Those rules were the rules. And The committees that do that met, and I don't think there was any questions about the test. It was, I think she's even admitted it. And I'm sorry that it is sad. It is sad for her.
Very sad situation for her. And I wish her the best. And hopefully she does get a chance to compete again. I believe she will. She's a young superstar and she's very fast and she's very good at what she does. Moving on to the Gwen Berry situation, not quite the same thing, but sort of the same. I mean, along the same lines of, wow, I mean, America just hates, all these black athletes. It's just not true. America got mad because this woman, she's representing America, but she didn't want to stand for the anthem. She wanted to put this activist shirt over her head and she wanted to turn her back to the anthem. While she got third place, by the way, two other girls got first and second place ahead of her. In fact, the first place girl actually ended up breaking a world record. But, I'm not even talking about her right now. It's kind of sad. I probably should spend more time. Maybe on the sports podcast I will, because what she did was awesome. The two young ladies were standing at attention for the national anthem. They both did really well, first and second place. She got third place, and then she wants to talk about then the national anthem plays, and she just completely disrespects it, makes it about her, turns her back, puts the activist shirt. And I'm kind of like Theo Vaughn, one of my favorite comedians. This whole activist athlete thing is done. It's getting old. It's not doing what you think it's doing. What it is, it's making people upset. It's making people impatient. It's making you think you don't like this country that's supporting you, by the way, that's holding you up, putting you in a position to perform in the Olympics. A lot of people died for her freedom to play in the Olympics. And so, it's just, for me, it's getting old. This whole activist athlete thing's getting old. I really don't know how. She even went on the news afterwards and just doubled down on it and said, yeah, she's proud of what to me, I'm done with it. If you don't want to represent America, why are you in the Olympics playing for the American team?
My short answer is I don't want to talk about it because the reason she did it was so that we talked about it.
Well, that's true.
She's not concerned about any other thing. Her purpose was to draw attention to herself, to get attention, period. That's why folks like that, I won't say, don't misconstrue what I'm saying. That's why people that do those things. They're doing it for attention, for themselves, to sell a product, to whatever it is that she's trying to get publicity on. That's why she did it. Plain and simple. When I had employees that worked for me, I was paying them a paycheck to do a job. If they didn't like the way the job was to be done, or if they didn't like the way the company was ran, they had a choice. There was a door. They could leave. When you join a team and you don't want to represent that team, then get off the team. She joined the American team to try out, to be a part of the United States of America's Olympic team. I don't know where that's unclear. There's other choices. I'm sure other countries would say, come over, be a part of ours, move here. I don't know what the citizenship, I don't know what the rules are, but I know that people go over to other countries and, they're born in one place, they live here, they're professional athletes in basketball, they go back to their home countries or whatever, but I'm sure they could play here because, again, they live here and they may even be citizens here, but they go back to represent. I don't know all the rules on that. I'm not an expert, but I am sure that there is a country in this world that you think is better than America that you could go to and you could throw your hammer and you could stand up and be proud. If you're not proud of America, if you're not proud of the team that you're trying to be on, get off the team, period.
It's simple. It's simple to me, I think, as well. And that's pretty much where we're going to leave it. We have one more topic to discuss. That's I just don't know what to think. I just don't know what to think of it. I was watching this video and, You know, I feel like if this video was made maybe in the 1980s, it would be different. But it's a present video. It's made by this, I think, this Facebook page called Jubilee that makes just random videos. And some of them are interesting. Some of them, it just shows you what kind of world we're in right now. And you can decide for yourself if it's good or bad. But they stick these people, 6 people in a room together. And those 6 people all have something in common, right? And they stand on a line. And if they go to the left, they agree. If they go to the right, they disagree, or vice versa. So they stuck these 6 black people in the room together. And the last question was, are you proud to be black? And of course, they all agreed. They're very proud to be black. And I thought that was awesome. I was very happy I was very happy they were proud to be what they were. So then they do another video with 6 white people, younger white, I guess younger, 20s, 30s maybe, kind of my age white people. They stuck 6 of them in a room and they said, are you proud to be white? That was the last question. 5 of them strongly disagreed. They were not proud to be white. One brave girl, and I wish I could shake her hand, said she is proud to be white. She said if people can be proud to be black, if people can be proud to be Mexican or whatever, then she should be proud to be white. I mean, it didn't seem like a controversial thing. She got torn apart and they almost made her switch sides. She stood her ground, but they tore her, all 5 other white people tore her apart. Why is it so controversial to say you're proud to be white? I want to ask you, as an older generation who grew up probably, you know, my whole take wasn't, there's white people who have done some really messed up things in this country. Obviously, there's a lot of white people who have done a lot of good for this country. There's the founding fathers who set up this country, who escaped the British rule, who literally wrote a constitution, who set up a constitution that really this country was the first of its kind. We've never seen a country like this until America did it, a country where the people have the ultimate power. And so really it's one of its kind. Abraham Lincoln did some great things. I mean, of course, there's controversy throughout history. But, you know, you had the founding fathers, you had Abraham Lincoln, you had people like that throughout history who have done great and powerful things. Ronald Reagan, who helped kind of set us into the future a little bit with the 80s. You've had people who have really done great things for this country on both sides of the political aisle. So my whole thing is, why is it all of a sudden now you can't be proud to be white? And these kids and it made my heart hurt that these 5 white people were like, no, we're not proud to be white. Why would we be proud to be oppressive people? Why would we be proud to be these evil? They were just so negative, and I don't understand it.
Again, we get into what we kind of connected into the last segment of stereotypes and of identifying, because now in society we're so quick to apply labels to people. So all white people are this, or all black people, or all people that live in the South, or all people that drink this drink are this. And I guess society has gotten to that, because as you were saying that, my thing is, why, if I'm proud to be me?
Yeah.
So is the question proud of my skin color or proud of me? Because again, I taught 5th grade social studies. One of the things in my class, our learning objective, and I carried it throughout as kind of an overarching thing, is the people and the events that happened in America that define who we are, what we are as a nation. Who is America? There were many events, many people that did that, and said, when you're defined as somebody, when you're defining who we are, what we are, I'm talking about when you define yourself. I am a father. I am a husband. I am a son. I am a man. I am a teacher. I was a banker. I was a boss. I was an employee. All of those things define who I am. That's my identity. So my identity is not that I'm white. That is part of my identity. But when you say I am proud, I immediately go to, so 5 of those 6 people are not proud of their identity, of who they are. I know the question was, I'm proud to be white, but I can't control that. I was born white person. What have I done with that? Everyone has a choice when they grow to get to an age of, what do I do with what I have? What have I done with being white? What have I accomplished? What have I taken? So I have right now a governor of the state of Texas who had a tree fall on him and he's paralyzed. What did he do with that? Did he quit? Or did he say, I'm going to do something with my life? Someone else may be born or have a disease or an illness. Maybe they're blind. Maybe they're whatever. Maybe they have a speech impediment. I don't know. Maybe they're born black. What are you going to do with that? How are you going to take that? So if you're born white, now that's a handicap. Now that's something that is bad. What can you do with that? That's your identity. So all of this stuff that we're crying and whining about is ridiculous. So what? They ask these people on college campuses, are you proud to be an American? Oh, I can't say that. Well, if you're not proud, what are you going to do about it?
That's kind of what I took
fix
about
it. So if you're not proud of your skin color, you can't change that. You can't stop being that. But what have you used with the talents and the skills and the gifts that you've been given to change it? So I don't get it. I don't get the question. I don't get the response. But what you're saying, what those 5 other people said is, oh no, I'm an awful person because I was born alive and I've just quit. Well, because I'm just terrible.
Yeah, it's weird to me because they asked black people, are they proud to be black? Well, black shouldn't define them either. But they had no problem accepting that and saying, yeah, we're proud to be black because they take pride.
Well, it should be. I'm proud of who I am.
Yeah, I'm proud of who I
am because I'm proud of the person that I've become because I have morals, I have beliefs, I have passions, and I
have no problem with that.
I would think that anybody should be able to step up and say I'm proud.
When they flipped the question over to the white people, 5 of them weren't proud of themselves. They weren't proud of who they were born to be.
To where we are as a society that we've let these things define and we've stereotyped. Are we letting it's just shallow? It's so disappointing. I don't know where America goes with this type of thinking and these things that are driving. It's exhausting.
Well, we ended on a happy note. Congratulations to you, sir. You're a teacher now in Goose Creek ISD, 5th grade, science and social studies.
Excited.
Where you grew up.
Going home.
It's where you grew up, Baytown, Texas. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I'm excited. Have been working on this alternate certification path. I have taught a complete year, but now I have achieved my full, what they call standard certification. I am official. And excited to be going back home to Baytown, to
the Dirty Bay,
to the Goose Creek to teach in the district where I went all of the years of my education from K through 12th grade. And so excited to do that.
I also got a job in Goose Creek, same district as my dad, 6th grade, crossing fingers on math. 6th grade math or ELA, either one will be fine. It's a junior high, so to me, it's exciting. Possibilities are endless. They have their own football team there. They have their own basketball team. They have their sports. It's more my feel. I feel like I can move up from 6th grade and even get into high school at some point, but it really is right at what I want. It's a legit junior high. Where I was teaching earlier was just a 6th grade campus. There was no sports there. They had pre-athletics, but they didn't have their own team. Well, now I'm at a campus where they have a football team. They have a football field. They have they're ready to roll. And so to me, it's exciting as a guy who wants to get into coaching and really shape young minds. Part of this whole thing that's connected is in sports, you don't really see color. You just see people playing. It's very merit-based. Can you run the ball? Okay, I want you at tailback. Can you throw the ball? All right, you're my quarterback. Can you hit? All right, you're getting on the line. You're protecting the quarterback. It's not about anything else other than can you do your job? It's the purest thing in the world. I love sports. Part of the reason I love math too. You either got the right answer or you got the wrong answer. You can't really get political when it comes to math, although they've tried, but it's just right or wrong, yes or no. And so to me, I'm glad we're finally both getting into what we want to do. Being in the same district is fun. And well, that's pretty much it. Do you have anything else to add to the show? It was a very good podcast. I think we talked about a lot and we covered a lot.
Welcome back, everybody.
Episode 23.
Here we go.
Is
Keep
out,
rolling. Get your getter.